Oh, hey, so what's up? There's actually something on my mind, right? So, we all use Twitter, right? Or some of us use Twitter, maybe, if you're watching my vids, because my vids are very obscure, generally, or completely for the most part. There's one that got near 200 views. Anyways, we all use Twitter. Let's just say that. Let's speak of billionaire Elon Musk and his latest business move, which I believe is now, he calls himself the Twitter chief. I believe he has bought a very significant part of Twitter, if not owns the company completely. And I'd like to talk about some things, but mostly I'd like to touch upon what I think that means in terms of maybe some of his decline mentally. I've personally perceived that it could have been an act, right? But that the man had a really gorgeous way of speaking, maybe like 10 years ago. And I haven't checked out that much. I check out things very sporadically. I'm very much a musically inclined person. But I cannot deny that he is a man I grew a fascination with when I was younger. Even though I should always educate myself more on things, right? That's the thing. I'm beating myself up over it, but enough of that. He has bipolar, so he might actually relate. He would actually, not might, but he would actually relate to that, I think. But I feel there's been a decline mentally in his state, in his way of thinking, not being, but thinking. People on social media websites, of course, they generalize, they always do, but they really seem to think that he's either a great guy, not a god like what it once was, but a great guy, or just a total jerk off, you know, which doesn't care about people. And honestly, kind of slightly like, I think he cares about people, all right. I just think there's some rules in business, okay, that are like silent rules. They're not explicit rules, but you respect them. The fact that he wants to effectively and hopefully, and this is something he would have mentioned, a headline on Reddit is what told me, alongside reading a bunch of comments. But I think that 75% of employees, you know, going into the fucking dust and maybe not even having a severance pay out of it, there's a potential chance of that if that happens. Then they take it to court, but court is a fucking hassle, okay? And Elon would show up for 5 minutes and be a flamboyant douchebag, and then he'd just get out. And it wouldn't even matter, because after the severance pay, right, then they'd have their court fees. It's all a fucking hoax to encourage people to just accept not getting any money. And plus it's like 75% to at least, maybe if you're decided to lower the number to like 60 or something, I don't know, because this is going to end up happening, right? Like the way things are going. There's going to be layoffs, for certain of it. Many fucking layoffs. Because he wants a more dedicated core team, right? But when you have people working on coding together and so on, yes, I mean, it's a small... It's maybe not a bad move, but what I'm hoping for more than anything is that he pays them up. Okay? That's what's worrying me. So I feel like he just pulled his scumbag move. He really would. He would just not give them proper severance pay or severance pay at all. Apparently 3 guys already had trouble getting their money. Which is just fucking blasphemous. Meaning, like, they were considering taking things to court. And you know what's the biggest thing about this that bugs me? This is a guy that, like, self-created companies, right? And SpaceX and pretty much Tesla, they're like, or Tesla, yeah, I'd say it. They're pretty much just created by him. Then other people got on board, or maybe kind of on board, and then he created the idea, and then he brought it along, but it was created by him, right? The electric car thing was actually cool. It was cool. It was impressive, and yeah, it didn't get a lot of purchases. It gets a lot more now, but you know what? I think the cars are probably better now. That would be what would make sense. And I think it's really amazing that you can look at something like the start of a revolution, and then from that same person comes a Twitter buyout that just feels like a total hack. Also, he paid, maybe, I've heard according to people, they think he paid too much for it. But at 40 billion, I mean, it's a lot of fucking money. Let's just say that. 40 billion bucks. Okay? So you've got this guy who's desperate for more money, so he buys Twitter. Wait, does that wholly make sense? Or, well, it can kind of make sense depending on if you could, render it more potent in terms of return. But in the present moment, no, probably not. So then he thinks, oh, well, let's fire 75% of the team so I can recoup some of my losses. And he's already just bought it for like a week. So once fires 75% of your workers at all, in any shape, capacity, it's just terribly wrong if you ask me. But yeah. I think that also the point I wanted to make, what is that innovative about social media anyways? Because, like, he's an innovator, right? So you think if he'd buy a company, it would be fucking innovate. But, let me just spend 40 billion and buy a social media just because I can, and then maybe I'll block some people's posts along the way that I don't like, or maybe I'll just leave that alone, but what's the real point in it? I don't get the point in it at all. Beyond, I guess the name being a branding. I now own Twitter. I am Elon Musk. I own Twitter. You know what got me fucking like thinking though? Imagine being Elon Musk and hearing like, yo, congrats on the Twitter buy in public. Wouldn't that be beautiful and amazing? Because I can't deny it. It's an achievement, right? It's a cool achievement. It's just I don't see the point, and I think he's going to mistreat the company, but it's a cool achievement, right? But yeah. He's on Twitter a lot, in fairness. He at least knows how to use it. He's not completely lost, in terms of what he's doing, simply based on that notion, but yeah. Fucking love my hair, by the way. It's too messy for life, though, but I love it because of that. I don't know why. But yeah. Anyways, let's see here. I feel like in a different life, okay? I and most of us would have been a very successful person, like to the point you get noticed. I'm kind of a believer in the zany, like that's one thing I believe in, like reincarnation and life after that and so on. I just wanted to talk about myself a bit, there is a potency in learning to love. That's just in terms of people or entertainment, or just ideas or life itself, There's a massive potency in just the process. noticed that. And to tell the truth, we are what we're meant to be, but yet, how are we really that at all? I feel kind of bad for Elon in a weird way, even though it's doing fine. It's doing amazing, right? But I feel bad because I feel like he is a very intelligent person who it has grown like too in over his head. And while it was like, because too many people called him a genius, probably that could do that to someone, you know. Kanye earlier on, like even on his songs, people would call him a genius. And early on, everyone always said that you're a musical genius, Kanye. You're a musical genius. It's unbelievable. And yeah, I feel like he probably just got coddled so much and praised so much with the Tesla idea and the SpaceX, just really because people love the space travel, it just really made people see him as a visionary. But now Twitter just seems like the opposite of a visionary move. But you know what? It's a chill out move, okay? And it involves the people, so yes, the business also will be terrible, but it's something, right? I don't know what to fucking say about that. Other than, I'm glad it's still going to be running as a website. Woo! And I'm glad that they added the little thing, but I'm wondering if it's just for certain people. I haven't really tried posting on there lately. Also, I kind of have been so inspired by music, but yeah, I'm just gonna go, I think. Thank you, lovelies, and peace out. See ya.